Here's something strange. The thought that jolts you awake at 3 in the morning isn't actually a question. It just sounds like one. And the harder you try to answer it, the wider awake you get. Tonight I want to show you a tiny tool that works with that. One single sentence, written in advance, that quietly tells your nervous system it's allowed to stop bracing. By the end of this video you'll have your own comfort sentence, 20 you can borrow word for word, a simple 4-step way to write one in your own voice, and a small wind-down ritual that makes it land when your mind goes quiet and loud at the same time. I'll save the most powerful version for last, and almost no one thinks to do it. So get comfortable. Dim the light if you can. We're going to take this slowly, the way rest actually happens. Let's begin. Before we settle in, 3 small things. If a calmer mind at night is something you want more of, subscribe. I make a new gentle session like this every week, and I'd love for the next one to find you automatically. Second, I have a question for you, and I do read these. In the comments, tell me the exact sentence your brain repeats at 3 a.m., the one on a loop. Naming it out loud is the first crack in its power, and your words might be the comfort someone else has been searching for. And third, stay with me to the end. The most powerful version of this tool, the one that works even when you're too tired to think, comes last, and I really don't want you to miss it. That's it. No pressure, just an invitation. Now let's talk about why your mind does this in the first place. Here's the first thing almost everyone gets wrong. Overthinking feels like problem solving, so we trust it. But notice, when you actually solve a problem, the thinking stops. You feel relief, and your mind moves on. The 3 a.m. spiral never does that. You can circle the same worry 40 times and end up exactly where you started, just more exhausted. That's the tell. What's really happening is this: your brain has picked up an uncomfortable feeling, dread, regret, unease, and it's mistaken that feeling for a problem. So it does what brains do with problems. It analyzes. It searches for the fix. But you can't think your way out of a feeling, because there was never a question there to begin with. The feeling doesn't need an answer. It needs reassurance. Hold on to that distinction, because everything else we do tonight is built on it, and the next piece explains why fighting the thought only makes it louder. Try this right now. For the next 10 seconds, do not think about a white bear. Don't picture its fur, its eyes, nothing. How did that go? If a bear showed up, you've just felt the trap. Psychologists call it the ironic process. When you try to suppress a thought, part of your mind has to keep checking whether it's gone, which means holding it right in front of you. So stop thinking about it isn't just hard. It's the one instruction guaranteed to backfire. This is why willpower fails you at night. You're not weak, you're using the wrong tool. The move isn't to push the thought away, it's to stop chasing it, to let it be there without grabbing the rope and pulling. A comfort sentence does exactly that. It doesn't argue with the thought or try to delete it. It gently changes the subject your body is listening to. And the next scene shows why 3 a.m. specifically is when this matters most. So why 3 in the morning? Why does the same worry that feels manageable at noon turn into a monster at night? A few real things are happening. During deep night, the prefrontal cortex, the calm, rational planner at the front of your brain, is running quiet. Meanwhile, the amygdala, your threat detector, stays on duty, so you're left with the part of you that raises alarms and very little of the part that talks you down. Add to that, there are no distractions at 3 a.m., no tasks, no conversations, nothing to pull your attention outward, so it collapses inward onto the one tender thing. And your body's cortisol is already beginning its slow climb toward morning. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means your brain is doing exactly what tired brains do in the dark. Which is why the solution can't be think harder. Your thinking brain has clocked out. The fix has to speak to the body instead. Here's how. Here's the shift that makes the whole thing work. When you're spiraling, your nervous system is braced, subtly tensed, scanning for threat, holding your body like something bad is about to happen. Analysis keeps it braced because searching for danger tells the body danger is real. Reassurance does the opposite. It sends one message: you are safe enough, right now, to stop holding on. Watch, I'll let my shoulders drop and breathe out slowly, longer than I breathed in. A long exhale gently nudges the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch, which lowers your heart rate and tells your body the emergency is over. That's the lever a comfort sentence pulls. It's not positive thinking, and it's not lying to yourself. It's a true, kind line that gives your body permission to unclench. And because body and mind move together, a calmer body quiets the thoughts that were feeding off the tension. So, what exactly is this sentence? Let me show you. So, a comfort sentence. It's one short line, written ahead of time, when you're calm, that you keep ready for the moment the spiral starts. Think of it like leaving a note for your 3 a.m. self, who is tired, frightened, and in no state to find the right words. 3 things make a good one. It has to be true. Your mind rejects anything it can call a lie, so no everything is perfect. It has to be kind, the tone you'd use with a friend who couldn't sleep, not a drill sergeant. And it has to point at safety, not at solving. It answers the feeling, not the question. So instead of how do I fix this, it's something like, I don't have to solve this tonight. I just have to rest. Notice it doesn't pretend the problem is gone. It simply tells your body the night is for rest, and the problem can wait for daylight. Now, why must it be written in advance? That part really matters. Here's why you can't just wing it in the moment. When you're activated, heart going, mind racing, the same prefrontal cortex that writes calm, why sentences is the part that's gone quiet. Asking your 3 a.m. brain to compose the perfect reassuring line is like asking someone to write poetry while running from a fire. It won't happen. You'll just spiral about not being able to calm down, which is its own special trap. So you do the writing now, in daylight, when you have your whole mind, and at night you only have to remember, not create. It's the same reason firefighters drill the same moves 1,000 times. When the alarm sounds, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on what's already prepared. Your comfort sentence is that preparation, one line, rehearsed when you're calm, waiting for you in the dark. And the best part, you don't have to invent it from scratch. Let me give you a simple formula, and then 20 you can simply borrow. Here's the 4-step formula to write your own. Step 1. Name the feeling, not the story. Not "I'm going to fail the meeting," but "I'm feeling scared." You're answering the feeling, remember. Step 2. Add a word of permission. It's okay that I feel scared. You're allowed to feel it. That alone loosens its grip. Step 3. Point to safety in the present, right now. In this bed, I am safe, and nothing needs solving tonight. Anchor it to this moment, because the feeling lives in an imagined future. Step 4. Hand it to tomorrow. I can look at this in the morning with a rested mind. Put together, I'm feeling scared, and that's okay. Right now I'm safe, and I can deal with this tomorrow. That's it. Name it, allow it. Find safety now, defer the rest. Write yours on paper and keep it by the bed. But if your mind's too tired even for that tonight, borrow one of mine, starting with racing thoughts. Let's start with racing thoughts, when your mind won't stop generating. Borrow any of these, say them slowly. My mind is busy, and I don't have to follow every thought. These are just thoughts, not instructions. I can let them pass. I don't have to finish this thinking tonight. A racing mind is tired, not in danger. I can watch my thoughts like clouds, without climbing on. Nothing here needs deciding before morning. Notice what they share, none argue with the content. They change your relationship to it from chasing to watching. End quietly. If this is landing for you, subscribe so the next session finds you on the night you need it. That's the only favor I'll ask. Pick the one sentence that made your shoulders drop a little and let it be yours for tonight. Try one now with me. A slow breath in and a longer breath out as you say it. Next, the hardest category of all, the 3 a.m. replay. Now the 3 a.m. replay, when your brain drags up the cringe, the mistake, the thing you said years ago, and plays it on a loop. This one hurts because it feels like accountability. It isn't. Replaying a moment at 3 a.m. changes nothing about it. It only punishes you for being awake. So try these. That moment is over, and replaying it can't reach back and fix it. I was doing my best with what I knew then. I can learn from this in daylight. Right now I'm allowed to rest. A memory is not happening now. It just feels close in the dark. I forgive myself enough to sleep. That last one is quietly powerful. You're not closing the case, just granting yourself a night's pause from the trial. The replay loses its grip the moment you stop treating it as urgent. Because here's the truth, it has waited this long, it can wait until you've slept. And there's one more spiral, maybe the most exhausting, bracing for what's coming. The last spiral is bracing, when your mind runs tomorrow's hard thing on repeat, as if rehearsing the dread will protect you. It won't. Your body can't tell the difference between imagining a stressor and living it. So you spend the whole night paying for an event that hasn't happened, and arrive exhausted for the very thing you were worried about. These sentences gently break that. Worrying about it tonight won't make me readier, rest will. I'll meet tomorrow with a rested mind, which is the best preparation there is. I've handled hard mornings before, I can handle this one. My job tonight is to sleep, not to solve tomorrow. Whatever comes, I'll have my morning self to meet it. Feel how each one hands the future back to the future. You are off duty. The bracing softens when you realize that lying here tense isn't actually doing anything, it just feels like doing something. Now, all 20 of these work far better with one small ritual. Let me show you. A sentence works best when your body is already easing down, so pair it with this tiny ritual. It takes about a minute. First, the physiological sigh, a normal breath in through your nose, then a second small sip of air on top to fully inflate your lungs, and a long, slow release through your mouth. Watch. That double inhale reinflates tiny air sacs in your lungs and clears carbon dioxide quickly, which is one of the fastest ways to downshift your nervous system. Do 2 or 3, then, on the next slow exhale, say your comfort sentence, silently or in a whisper. You're pairing the words with the calm, so over time the sentence alone starts to summon the settled feeling, like a knot you can untie with one pull. Keep the room dim, your body still, and let the sentence be the last thing on your mind. Do this nightly and it gets stronger, not weaker. And now, the most powerful version of all, the one I promised, that almost no one does. Here it is, the one almost no one does, and the reason I asked you to stay. Don't just think your comfort sentence. Say it out loud, in a whisper, to yourself, and as you do, rest a hand on your own chest, or gently cradle the side of your face or your ear, like this. Here's why it's so much stronger. Your nervous system is wired to be soothed by another person, a calm voice, a warm hand. But it doesn't actually check who the hand belongs to. Slow, gentle self-touch paired with a kind, spoken voice can trigger the same settling response you'd feel being comforted by someone who loves you. You become the calm presence you were waiting for. So tonight, hand on your heart, a whisper, you're safe now. You can rest. I've got you. Speak to yourself the way you'd soothe a frightened child, because at 3 a.m., that's exactly who's awake. That's the whole tool. Let me gather it all together for you before you sleep. Let's gather it all. Overthinking isn't problem solving, it's your brain treating a feeling like a problem, so the answer is reassurance, not analysis. You can't force a thought to stop, but you can stop chasing it, so you keep one true, kind, pre-written sentence ready, named, aloud, anchored to safety, and handed to tomorrow. You pair it with a physiological sigh and the most powerful version, whispered aloud with a hand on your heart. If this gave your mind somewhere softer to land, subscribe. There's a new calm session like this every single week, and I'd love for it to find you. Next time, I'll show you the one thing to do in the first 60 seconds after you wake at 3 a.m., before you even open your eyes, that decides whether you drift back to sleep or lie there for an hour. Tell me in the comments, which comfort sentence are you taking with you tonight? Sleep gently. I'll see you in the next one. Mind in Bloom.
Follow for a new calm reset every night. Mind in Bloom.